Okay, hi there. In the latest in our series of economics key diagrams, if it's okay with you, let's spend a few minutes thinking about the link, the important link between elasticity of demand and the profit margin that a business can achieve. So the profit margin, or the markup, can be measured by the gap between the price per unit that a firm is selling for and the cost per unit. Price minus average cost. Consider, for example, a highly contestable market where demand is highly price elastic, a coefficient of elasticity of demand well above 1, for example. In those kind of markets, we find the profit margin tends to be quite low because consumers are sensitive to the price, and therefore a profit-seeking firm with many competitors has some, albeit limited, pricing power. So let's see how we show this. Here's a diagram showing a highly elastic demand curve, average revenue, marginal revenue falling beneath it, and a given set of cost curves. We maximise profit at output Q1 and we can charge price P1, but demand is highly price elastic, so there's a limit to what the firm can charge. Find the average cost AC1, so the price is above average cost, the firm is therefore making some profit, shown by the shaded area. But can you see here the gap between price and average cost is pretty low, so we'd say there's a low markup. Typically in these industries, the profit comes from selling a lot of output. So you're making a low profit per unit, but you've got a big output, so therefore you can make a good profit. So this diagram, take a screenshot if you want to, is basically we have a highly elastic demand, which leads to low profit margins. Price is quite close, in fact, to marginal cost. Now, in contrast, when a firm has significant monopoly or selling power and can prevent the successful entry of challenger firms, barriers to entry are key to that, obviously. And when the consumer demand for the product is price inelastic, perhaps they're selling a necessity with very few close substitutes. Well, those factors combine to give the seller much greater pricing power. And as we'll see in a second, at the same profit maximising level of output, the price that's charged is well above average cost and the profits will be high. This analysis assumes an unregulated monopoly firm. So there's the original diagram we had before. Now there's the diagram with a highly elastic demand, low margin, and here's my contrasting diagram. Here it comes, highly inelastic demand. So let's go back a slide, highly elastic demand, highly inelastic demand with a low price elasticity. Profit maximising output is Q1, where marginal revenue meets marginal cost. I think that's right, good. And of course you can now charge price P1 a high price because of the low elasticity of demand. There's the average cost AC1. And can you see here that now the gap between price and cost is much bigger, giving a higher level of supernormal profits as shaded, and the markup is much higher than it was before. So typically in these kind of markets, in monopolistic markets, you can have a very high markup, and this is worth building into your chains of reasoning because it obviously has implications for the profitability of these kind of firms. So this is an important idea, I think, with many applications for your exams. For example, utilities, water utilities and things, so businesses with significant monopoly power, they can achieve high profit markups unless perhaps they're regulated by an industry regulator acting, if you like, as a surrogate competitor. In contrast, liberalising or opening up a market to make it more contestable can lower the supernormal profits being made by the existing firms. They make less margin. And another really good application is linking this to trade. You see, if you open up a market to international trade, for example, by relaxing import quotas or lowering tariffs, that can also make demand more price elastic, bringing down price, bringing down profit margins. And that clearly has implications for consumers. So there we go, a quick journey through an important concept, price elasticity of demand and profit margins. Take care, stay positive, stay happy. See you soon.